Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living
with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. Happy Chinese New Year. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon, broadcasting out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California, and then syndicated every Thursday at 7 p.m. on my CNBC News Radio channel, KCAA. That's on AM 1050, FM 106.5 and 106.3 now, and everywhere, Stitcher, YouTube, and all that. So there's no reason that you shouldn't get splattered with hope and happiness, because that's what this show is about. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all. Instead, I'd like you to focus on your own reality life and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And yes, it is. Yesterday was Chinese New Year. It is the year of the red monkey. So the focus is on finances. So I'm wishing all of my listeners a very prosperous and abundant new year this year. And that is because I am Chinese, in case you haven't noticed. And the 88 comes from the 8 number, fa, being close to ba, which means good fortune. And that's why I always talk about 8 and 88, so now you know. And it is my Valentine's episode, or for those of us who are single, our Single Awareness Day. And as per tradition, I am so grateful that once again, for the 5th time, I'm going to have to celebrate Valentine's, Dr. Pat Allen on the air. She's a PhD and a licensed marriage, family, child therapist in private practice in LA and Newport Beach, best-selling author and communication and relationship expert, and sought-after keynote speaker. She's a transactional analyst and addiction specialist certified by the Harvard Medical School of Addictions, and she's founder of the Want Institute, educators of effective communication strategies. Her books include bestseller Getting to I Do, Conversational Rape, and The Truth About Men Will Set You Free, but first it'll piss you off. Dr. Pat's been on CNN, Fox News, CBS, NBC, E! Entertainment, go-to therapist on The Millionaire Matchmaker, Bravo, 4-time Oprah Winfrey guest, and now 5-time Asian Oprah guest. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Pat Allen again. Thank you, Dr. Pat, for returning. Your shows are
Thank you for having me.
They're all very well listened to, and my YouTubes are up almost 45,000. Can you believe it, in 4 years? And,
I believe it. My radio show is doing well as well.
I know. You're
Friday
on
night, 6 to 8 on LA Talk Radio.
I know. You're now my
competition. If you ever want that, here we are.
I'm just kidding. It is so wonderful to have you, and you're just, how young are you now? Every year I ask you this.
When somebody said to me, Pat Allen, you're the youngest teenager I've ever met.
Yes, you are.
I thought that was perfect. I'm 81 years old.
Unbelievable. And you are still doing your Monday nights. For those of you who have not had the pleasure of being in her hot seat, she does a Monday night lecture style audience participation that is really fun.
I do it just once a month now. The first Monday of the month at the Marriott Courtyard by Culver City and Bristol.
Wonderful.
I do one in Orange County on Wednesday night, the first Wednesday of the month, and I do it at the Costa Mesa Community Center at 19th and Park.
Wonderful. So if you haven't been to one of those, you have to go. It's an experience for you to remember. So I'm going to jump right into, on your website, the first banner says, what do you mean? It says, do you want to get laid or do you want to get paid? So let's just start with that one. What do you mean by that?
Well, human beings are subject to addictions in money, sex, and mind-altering chemicals. So people who are having great sex make a lot of dopamine, which if they're not spiritual, godly, and they don't negotiate a friendship first, they will become addicted to the dopamine created by sexuality. Nature's. But if you discipline your nature, you will end up balanced in your nature. And I'm happy to hear that the Chinese red monkey, did you say?
Yes.
Is money-centered. Hallelujah. But did you notice that it's red?
Yes.
Red is the Kundalini chakra color for sexuality. And that means that you've got to balance your sexuality with your money. So with that in mind, if you just want to get laid, you can just go out there and get addicted to somebody who's not right for you.
Okay.
If you want to get paid, what you're doing is you're seeking status and financial security. Harvard did, by the way, the hospital at Harvard that certifies addictions is McLean. It isn't Harvard in general.
Okay.
It is McLean Hospital. So with that in mind, if you want to get paid, you basically know that Harvard did a big research project in the 90s, and they asked 10,000 students at Harvard, why did you mate? That's monogamy, continuity, and exclusivity without a legal document. Or why did you marry? That's mating, longevity, continuity, and exclusivity with a marriage license and a spiritual ceremony. So they found that 2/3 of young people, mostly men and sometimes, often women, want sensual and sexual stability in their mating and in their marriage, more than they want status and financial security. They are often willing to hook up, which is casual sexuality and very susceptible to addiction to dopamine.
That's men,
The
more men than
other-
women.
What?
You just said, is that more men than women, or I think
Oh, yes.
more men?
Yes.
Okay.
Men love hooking up at no cost. Marriage is not created for men. Men do not wake up in the middle of the night and say, oh, I want status and stability, unless they're 1/3 of men.
Okay.
Those men mate and marry. They're called gigolos.
Okay.
2/3 of women want to mate or marry for status, Mrs. So-and-so, and financial stability to raise children.
2/3 of women.
1/3 of women want stability sensually and sexually. They're called cougars. So cougars go with gigolo men, and ladies go with gentlemen. And gentlemen build a friendship when they negotiate before sexuality.
Okay.
And women are ladies when they require continuity, exclusivity, and monogamy.
So success in relationships is finding someone who's in the 2/3 that is not gigolo, and finding yourself, if you're a woman, in the 2/3 that's not a cougar. Is that about the...
That's exactly
okay,
right.
good. Okay. So
Now, I belong to the American Psychological Association, and I belong to the addiction system, and You know what they're finding out?
Mm-hmm. No.
Women in their estrogen and their large corpus callosum and their sexual identity, especially premenopausal, do not like hooking up because it creates an addiction to the wrong person.
Interesting.
And men, post-andropause, when they've gotten rid of a lot of testosterone and they're now operating on estrogen, they die of being betrayed by a gold digger woman. And they die of something we now know the name of. It's called the Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, broken heart syndrome.
Wow. That's a scientific...
The lower chamber in the heart floods when a man is betrayed by the woman he loves. And it sets a man up, particularly a man, for a heart attack. That's why there's 15 little old ladies to every one single man when you're past 50.
Interesting.
Men need to mate and marry good women more than women need to mate and marry good men. We women can often form groups, sewing clubs, book clubs, travel clubs, and we just have a ball amongst our own kindred spirits.
Is that why the statistic of men who get divorced or lose their first wife is much higher for a second marriage and a third marriage than women?
Yes.
That explains that. Now, what do
Yes, it does.
Okay, what do you say to women who are in that category?
Which category?
The category
premenopausal or post-andropause?
Post-andropause. Who?
Okay, what do I say to them?
What do you say when, Valentine's, I jokingly say, is Singles Awareness Day, because if you don't have a date or if you're not dating someone, you're alone. And, you could go out with your girlfriends. But I meet many, many women who say, look, I've had the love of my life, or I've been married. I'm done. They're in their 50s and they hate dating, and they really don't see the value in having a relationship. What do you say to those women?
I say, enjoy your spinsterhood or get a lover.
Okay. So you don't advocate them getting back on the horse, so to speak?
No, dear, it's none of my business.
Okay, so if they're convinced that they would prefer to be on their own, which is understandable, because when you're on your own, you don't have to compromise, and relationships really are not work because you're not in one.
Women are built to grind corn, babysit, take care of the sick over 50. That's what nature's designed us for.
Okay.
And whether you like it or not, do you know what the word cortisone is?
It sounds close to cortisone.
Cortisone is a French term, and it's about the job of older women is to deflower the younger men. If you saw the movie Young Victoria about Queen Victoria, you will see that Queen Victoria was a very masculine young woman, and she had two brothers, Albert and his brother, Cutie Pie Blondie.
Mm-hmm.
And Albert got her by being a gentleman. And he had her for life. She had one baby a year for 9 years. How many of us think of her as a big fat blimp? She was a perfect 8 through 9 babies. I went to see the Getty Museum on Albert and Victoria's very, very big promotion of photography as an art form.
Mm-hmm.
They were kindred spirits. He set up orphanages and care centers for the poor, and she was queen. The day he died of a physical illness, and the pictures are all there, I went to see the museum piece. She started eating and petting dogs, and she became a blimp.
Interesting. That's a great history there. I didn't know that, because yes,
I know that, and I'll tell you something else. You know the phrase oral sex.
Yes.
Do you understand that eating is as close to oral sex as you can get?
Yes. I'm biting my tongue.
And
There's so
that's
much.
why when I see a lady who's huge with a little teeny man, I know he's getting it all and she's not getting hers.
Really?
Oh, yes. I used to weigh 205 pounds.
Really?
Oh, God, yes.
I've never
I
known
weigh
you.
124.
Yeah, I've never known you. When was this?
In 2003,
Okay. So 12 years ago?
my husband was dying,
Uh-huh.
and my doctor said, eat, don't drink at your pain.
Okay.
So I ate,
And what
and I survived.
so what
So for you women out there that are eating as a way to exchange your sensual sexual nature for food, read The Craving Brain by Dr. Rubin.
Okay, The Craving Brain by Dr. Rubin.
Yes.
Because let me see if I understand this correctly. So I want to get that connection with the oral sex. So if you're not getting satisfied, if you're a woman and you're not being satisfied, that
Yes.
you turn to food and you gain weight.
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to lose weight,
Comfort food.
so if you want to lose weight, have a relationship with a man and get satisfied.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But in order to get satisfied, you have to set the standards. Men are not built for marriage.
Okay.
Marriage is for women and children. We women are the black Madonnas, the Madonna in Spiritus. We're the ones, the yin people, who say, no to immoral, unethical, and illegal sexual behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So when women do not monitor the sensual and sexual behavior of men, you get used and abused.
So to balance what I just said, as a new diet method to be satisfied, don't hook up with someone just to have sex if they're going to abuse.
Never, ever.
Okay.
Animals have sex.
Okay.
Human beings, when they're spiritually sound, make love.
Okay. So in a way, you are coming back and answering that earlier question I had, that there is value in still having an intimate, satisfying, making love kind of relationship for women over 50.
I know that, but it can be satisfied by dancing,
Okay. You don't have to have sex.
massaging.
Uh-huh.
How many women out there have male masseuses?
I do. I do. Well, it's Chinese reflexology,
yes.
so.
Do you weigh closer to 130 or closer to 205?
Do I have to answer that question?
Well, that means the negative. Are you married or single?
Single.
Okay. And you have a male masseuse, but do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Well, do you go dancing?
Yes.
Dancing is as close to sex morally as you can get.
Okay. Yes, I do.
So
Not-
do you,
Yeah, I do
you,
dance,
you do
but
go
not.
dancing?
Yeah, but like not once a week.
Is what?
Not once a week. Maybe once.
Not once a week.
Right.
That's
but
like
once.
saying you don't eat except once every month.
Okay. So I have to either have a relationship. Every year I get dinged on this. Every
I
year.
want you to just go dancing.
Okay. Go dancing every week. Or as often as
Yes.
possible. Okay. All right. By myself, with my girlfriends, doesn't matter, right?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
And
Now-
be sure you get massaged by a professional masseuse who is not going to happy ending you.
Well, I don't do that.
Well, there are ladies listening to this show that might want to do that. But
Okay.
the problem with that is you'll get addicted to your masseuse.
Okay, yeah. Well, I do Chinese reflexology. Let's just clarify that. But I do that
Okay,
once a
so
week.
then
Yeah.
you're on the right track.
He's cute, but yeah, there's nothing. He just does my feet. That doesn't sound good either. But he does
You know the
Chinese
two spots-
reflexology.
What are the two spots on the human body that are most humanizing? Name them.
Most humanizing?
Yes. Remember the mirror neuron? That's a set of cells in our brain when we're born that by the age of 3, we have to have a grandma or a grandpa or somebody that's going peekaboo, peekaboo, huggy, huggy, huggy. If you're not petted and touched and loved before 3, you are going to be like a feral cat. You can feed you, you can water you, but you can't touch you.
Interesting.
Not very fun. And the book on that is Ashley Montague, Touching, the 3rd edition.
So that brings me to another question. I have one from a listener who says, I don't have a physical relationship with a man. Is it a good substitute, though, to have regular self-pleasuring in order to keep myself ripe?
I think masturbation. Are you standing or sitting?
Oh, well, I was sitting, but I'm going to sit deeper.
Okay. Are you willing to stand up?
I'm willing to stand up. Can we move the camera? Okay. Yes.
Stand up.
All right.
Now, see where the arms fall according to your body and your genitals.
Okay.
Are they in the right spot?
Like if I cover my privates, are my fingertips?
Can you use your hand easily with your genitals? Do they go to the right place?
Yes, they do. They do go to the right place.
Guess what?
What?
If God built us with our arms attached to our bodies so that they only go to our hip bones, we're going to have problems, aren't we?
Okay, so we're built for pleasuring.
We're built to pleasure ourselves.
Okay.
Kids are masturbating in utero. In utero.
Okay. Really? I didn't know that.
You got it.
Okay. So, well then, but it's crazy how.
What's crazy?
No. It's I don't think it's crazy, but what the crazy part is, it's so taboo to talk about it, to learn about it, to.
Now I'm going to tell you a little secret.
Okay.
Churches and governments want tax money and charity money. It's in their best interest not to promote self-satisfaction.
Okay. Why?
Sweden sent a camera crew over to America because people in Sweden are no longer marrying. They're having kids, but they're not marrying.
Mm-hmm.
So they picked 10 sexual experts in the United States to do segments on a TV series. I got to do dating.
Duty dating.
For the country of Sweden.
Wow. Congratulations.
But do you understand? And Patrick Carnes is my sponsor for McLean Hospital Certified Addiction Specialist. Do you remember who Patrick?
I think so. I met him, right?
He was going to be the expert witness on the Bill Clinton, Jennifer Flowers. He's now at the Meadows, I think.
Okay.
But he is the leading sexual expert in our culture.
And he was in the movie too? Or in the lecture series?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Because, no, he wasn't. It was, they had, John Gray was in it.
Okay.
It's about getting married. Patrick Carnes is not prejudiced pro or con marriage. He's just talking about these issues. For example, if you molest a little girl before her first period, you ruin her brain. She develops too many dopamine receptors, and she's the bad girl that screws around on her husband and gets killed and thrown on the freeway.
That's depressing.
That is what happens when you turn a little girl on before her period.
Huh. So what
Arthur Janoff has a wonderful book. It's called The Biology of Love.
The Biology of Love.
Arthur Janoff.
Okay.
It's about bad sexuality.
And
Women's Lib forgot to tell women not to take those fake balls home.
fake balls?
They're fake.
Uh,
Women are not naturally built until they're old to be men.
okay. I'm missing something here.
Women are prematurely imitating men when they're young. I'm going to make money. I'm going to be powerful. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah, that strong woman thing that you keep yelling at me about. Although, Dr. Pat, I have to say, I almost had a show. There's still hope. We have one more day. But just to prove to you that I do listen to you, I was going to do, instead of the dating game on the air, I was going to do the waiting game and have 3 bachelors.
You know what? More power to you. By the way, I didn't ask you, are you a career woman or a woman with a career at this time in your life?
I am a woman with a career.
So you're looking for a man.
I am looking for a man. Yeah, that's why I'm doing the waiting game. I was
Okay,
going to put
except
blindfold
that
on, so
you
not
aren't dancing.
see.
You aren't dancing.
Well, I would like to dance with a man.
I know that, but you got to go where they dance.
True. Guilty again. Every year
Do
I
you
get raked
understand
through the
what you're
romance
saying?
goals. Yes. I'm saying that
I have never, ever been without a man for the last, let's see, my last husband was 40. I have just negotiated a new relationship with a wonderful man.
Oh, it's not the same one from last year?
No, the one from last year died.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't
No,
know that.
he enjoyed his whole time with me.
Okay. Good. And I shouldn't have said I'm sorry. That was just normal sentiment. But I know he's on the other
I
side.
had a great time.
I know you did.
We were a wonderful couple. What?
I know you did. You told me. It was
But
fabulous.
I've got a new one going.
Wow.
And I'm 81.
You give me hope, Dr. Pat, definitely.
And my new boyfriend is 61.
So does that make you a cougar?
No, dear. It makes me a very young old lady.
Okay. Oh, yes, that youngest teenager thing. So
That's exactly right.
All right. So how did you meet him?
How did you meet him?
Yes.
Well, I do these seminars.
Yes.
My people find me. I don't find them. I'm not even looking for them. Because when I'm not with a man, I'm a career woman and I enjoy it.
Okay.
But I wait for a man to have the chutzpah. You know the word chutzpah?
Yes.
Jewish word.
Yes.
I'm Catholic.
Oh, okay.
But I know Jewish. My sister-in-law was a rabbi.
Oh.
Anyway,
I
wait till they spot me and have the courage. My husband of 18 years spotted me at one of my seminars, and he used all of my techniques to get me. And this guy's doing exactly the same thing.
Wow. So he came to one of your seminars.
Negotiated the deal last Wednesday.
Ah.
So here we go.
That's wonderful.
But we're not having intercourse at this time. We may never have intercourse.
Okay.
Because I don't think I don't want to bury one more old man.
You think it was like too much sex?
I don't want to help old men die. That's why I'm going with the 61-year-old. I mean, now that's not young, but that's my age bracket, emotionally.
But you can still have pleasure without having intercourse.
Honey, yes.
Okay, just checking.
And to be very honest, older men, I do not want to have any man that has to take Viagra. I don't want people threatening their lives to have intercourse. Intercourse is a man's game. Affection is a woman's game. If you make me feel comforted and cherished, I don't care if I ever have intercourse.
Okay. But they don't feel that way, though. They want to have intercourse, as far as I understand.
No, wait a minute.
Okay.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yes.
They think we need them to have intercourse, and cougars do.
Okay.
I'm not a cougar. I'm a feminine woman that wants to be touched affectionately. whether it's dancing or cuddling or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But what about his needs?
Wait a minute. That's what I'm saying. 50% of men have erectile dysfunctions, and they take medicine, which can kill them.
Mm. But don't.
I'm not into people threatening their life just to have intercourse with me.
Well, absolutely not. But isn't the desire to have sex and the
Wait a
popularity?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
There are so many things to do. My last man, who was 5 years, he pleasured me better than anybody in my life.
Okay.
And we never once had intercourse in 5 years.
That's what I'm talking about. I just wanted to be clear. There's
Taste, touch,
other
smell,
things.
see, and hear. Everything touching is not necessarily intercourse.
Got it.
We women, when we're feminine, we like affection.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, men that are men and virile, they often want intercourse, but only 50% of them are that.
Okay.
The rest of them, they can't get it up anyway.
Okay, so we're not going to make that clear about your new guy. But so when I had the panel of men here and they were all, saying what they wanted intercourse. But what you're saying is they were either part of that 50% or part of the group that was younger.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Good. And I'm getting the signal. It's that time to take a brief pause to thank the wonderful sponsors that make this show possible on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Peace in and peace out. If you think you don't have the money to start your own business, then I have fantastic news. Now you can own a business that has proven to be a phenomenal success all around the country with very little upfront investment. We're talking the Selfie Station. Selfie Station is a portable touchscreen photo booth that people and businesses book for weddings, corporate functions, trade shows, proms, promotional events, parties, and more. Selfie Station captures lifelong memories that can be emailed, texted, printed, personalized, and even uploaded to social media. You won't believe how much people will pay you to make your business the life of their party. It's the easiest income you'll ever earn and pays for itself in no time at all. You can start your own business right now. Let Selfie Station be the picture taker, icebreaker, and your moneymaker. Now, as a special introductory offer, you get $500 off the professional package. That's right, $500 off. SelfieStationPodcast.com. Type in the name of my show, Dr. Marissa, so I can get credit, please. Thank you. SelfieStationPodcast.com. That's SelfieStationPodcast.com. And get ready to make money today. And we're back. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon out of the Sunset Gower Studios, Universal Broadcasting Network, and then every Thursdays at 7 on my syndicated CNBC News Radio channel, KCAA AM Radio 1050 and FM 106.3 and 106.5. And today, just for Valentine's, I brought back one of your favorite, if not the favorite, relationship and romance expert on communication, on many, many things. That's Dr. Pat Allen. Welcome back, Dr. Pat.
Thank you for having me back.
Absolutely. Okay, so here's some listener questions. Here's one from Katie. She gets a lot of attention. Men chase her, but she's afraid to date. On one hand, she's picky, and she gets disappointed every time she goes on a date. And then the other side, she's very self-conscious. She has body imperfections. She's put on weight from her modeling days. And when the clothes come off, she doesn't want to disappoint them. What does she do?
First of all, she admits she's trained to be a spinster.
Okay. And then?
You see, the problem with being a model,
Mm-hmm.
the problem with being a model is you are your body.
True.
See, I will not ever date a man that respects me.
Okay, explain that.
If he doesn't know that I'm a woman, a ditzy blonde, off stage, off camera, because the only way I can be comfortable is if I don't have to be Pat Allen. Because Pat Allen is mother to the universe, and mother is masculine. And when I date a man, he better know I'm a ditzy blonde inside.
Okay. So that he's not
Because
threatened?
that man, what?
So that he's not threatened?
Yeah, he can, if he's afraid of me, he's going to abuse me.
Okay.
He's going to chop me down to his size.
All right.
Forget you. I'm my size, but I melt like a kitty cat when you cherish me.
Mm-hmm.
I go by Patricia or by Pat Allen. I was so funny one time, a nice man that I've dated, he said it was shocking to see the change in ego demonstration between Pat Allen, Genius of the Year, and Patricia, cuddly girl, petting kitty cats and smelling roses, that you have to decide, do you want to date Pat Allen? If so, you're probably using me as a therapist, and I'll spot you. If you date me as Patricia, you'll open my doors, you'll hold my arm, you will take care of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's, this is what you're saying. Women's Lib has really taken the
but your little
soft
friend,
side.
the little friend that you're reading,
Mm-hmm.
she is too busy being a man. I've got to do good, feel, look good. I've got to perform. Here's the direction I would give her.
Okay.
I want you to flirt 5 days a week, 5 minutes a day, whether it's 1 minute or 3 minutes. I want you, as you walk about town, in the stores, in the restaurants, to look into the eyes of a desirable man and stay 2 seconds longer, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5. 3,001 seconds are normal. Those extra 2 are saying, come and get me, big boy.
Okay.
Now,
I'm going to practice on Jarvis.
four times. I want you 4 times to do it as you walk elevators, escalators. 1 time, there are shy men who will circle you at dances, at church, in the company. They'll circle you because they're shy. I want you to be planted, sit on a bench, sit down at the coffee shop, sit in Starbucks, whatever, so that a shy man can have the courage to come up and say, hi, nice day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He or she who speaks first is masculine.
All right.
If you want to be cherished, shut your mouth and open your eyes.
Do you hear that, Katie?
And I want you to get 3 men to date you 3 times each.
Okay.
If you have no chemistry for them, when they ask for the 4th date, you say, thank you so much for the good times we've had, but I don't have the romantic feelings I need to go any farther, and I don't want to use you, and I don't want to lead you on. So if you choose to date me, you're dating a friend only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny.
Isn't that ladylike?
I quote you and I use your advice when my callers call in about relationships, and I say, take the Dr. Pat Allen duty dating challenge, and with those 3 dates. But I do get kickback all the time because they almost always say, if there's no chemistry the first date, why should I go on 2 more dates?
I'll tell you why.
Tell me
because
why.
Women's Lib taught them to do good. When you pick with your eyes, you're a man. When you pick with your ears, you're a woman. An ugly man can have the greatest sense of humor you ever heard. A balding man with a pouched belly could be so sweet to a waitress or a little kid that you say, oh my God, what a kind human being. Men know whether they're sexually attracted because they pick with their eyes. That's nature.
Yeah.
Women don't know because they're miseducated. They think they have to pick with their eyes and their ears. That's a narcissistic, gigolo, cougar woman who basically is picking for fast sex or easy money. That's a narcissist.
So
No.
okay.
I want her to go out with that person 3 times before she graciously says, if you date me, it's only a friendship.
So the same thing goes for women who say, I'm not attracted because they're not financially stable, or they
You know
haven't
what?
got what?
Do you know that boyfriends don't have to be financially stable? Husbands do.
So
There are lots of men that are husband qualified, and there's lots of men that are only boyfriend qualified. But believe me, being alone is worse than being with a man you will never marry.
Really? Why?
Yes! Because especially as you get older, hopefully you've taken care of yourself. If you want a man to pay your bills, you better be under 35 years old and ready to have his babies and take care of him.
Now, I know that some of my feminist listeners are having a really hard time right now. What?
You know what? So let them puke in the wastebasket and get back on the phone.
Well, I mean, this is one of the questions where it does sound like you want us to go back to the way it was in the old romantic days.
I got news for you. I want you to go back to nature.
Okay, so this
I
is a
teach
nature.
virtue through nature.
Okay, so
I will bury you under factual data.
So in that sense, even though the times have changed, this is something that should not change. I just want on the record.
Should never change.
Okay.
We're getting the results, and our kids are paying for it. Helen Fisher wrote, "Why him, why her?" That's chemistry.
Okay. So now chemistry. Chemistry is something that you can. Does it grow or not? So if you meet
I got
someone,
news for you.
Okay.
From 18 to 40, you are a female or a male. But starting at 40 to 45 and 50, between 40 and 50, your chemistry changes. That's the midlife crisis. That's when women become men progesterone-wise, and men become women.
Okay.
And the over 50 relationship is like this. I think, how do you feel? What can I do to help us feel better? I don't feel very good. What do you think? When you're 50 plus, whoever starts a sentence with I feel bad has to ask the partner what they think for the solution. Whoever says I don't think that's very good has to ask the partner, and by the way, this is straight, gay, and lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's different except genitals in a gay or lesbian relationship.
Mm-hmm. You still have a male energy and a female energy.
You still have yin and yang.
Mm-hmm.
Yang energy is masculine. It gives, protects, and cherishes. Female energy is yin, and it's receptive, available, and respecting.
So every relationship has to have a balance of those two. So relationships that
You
have
have to.
two yangs
You know what?
don't
You know
work.
the worst thing that happens? I'll tell you what the worst thing is.
Okay.
He and she get married. He's the man, she's a woman. She has a couple of kids. They set up a business, and they become two men.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Let's do some business. Let's make some money. What happens to their sex life? It goes south.
Mm.
She starts eating, and he starts screwing her best friend.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, that does sound like things that are happening. Now, I have a question from a man, Bob.
Good.
All right. He says that he's told that he's cute, and I seem to find attractive women who are selfish, who don't say thank you. They like me until they find out I have no money. What do I do? What am I doing wrong?
What you're doing wrong is you're not finding out right away. about whether they want to get laid or paid. See, a cute man is a great escort, but he may never qualify for a husband. So she would say, you know what? I have a lot of chemistry for you. You're very cute, and I would love to be in a dating relationship with you, but I'm not going to have intercourse, and I'm not going to marry you.
Okay. Now, what if he says, but I'm not always going to not have money, that I'm working on it and, I'm working on a career?
As soon as you get enough money to pay half of our relationship bills, and that includes trips, dates, houses, whatever, at least pay half. There's a convenient relationship of halvesies. There's a codependent relationship where one person is a slave and the other person is a slave master, codependent. And then there's a third one, which used to be legal in Louisiana, Arizona, Minnesota, and Michigan. It's called a covenant. One person signs an agreement at the marriage that they will always pay for the bills of the relationship, and the other person promises never to go to work and to stay home and provide a home. Now, the only state that has a covenant now is Louisiana.
Okay. So then Bob should...
This man has got to say to a woman, you know what? Do you find me attractive? Yes. I want you to know that's wonderful, but I today do not have enough money to marry you at your level. Are you willing to date me until I do?
Why would he say yes?
She would say yes because he may be an intern and he's getting no money in medical school.
Okay. All right. So
it's called worthy of investment.
Okay. So his
See,
line
she wants finished products. The best thing she can do is get with some old men with money and be a gold digger.
Okay. So let me get personal for a second. You've dedicated your whole life to helping people with their relationships. Do you ever get tired? Yes. Do you ever get tired?
What?
Do you ever get tired?
No.
No. Why? What's your secret?
I don't. You know why? Because I've got the three things that we all need, and I always have them.
Okay.
I've been married 4 times. Way back when, I married dominating men because I was raised patriarchally in Iowa, and I was a slave. I was trained to be a slave, a Catholic Irish slave. As I learned my stuff, I'm really an artist and a musician, and I switched my master's from art to therapy because my husband left me because he thought that because I was going to school, I was going to leave him anyway, so he left me first.
Okay. Nice.
Well, I thanked him at his funeral. He married somebody else he deserved. She ran his life, and he died before she did. Fine. So with that in mind, I have learned from my bad marriages. I didn't have a Pat Allen. I've been a therapist 44 years. Lately, I bury them. I don't need to divorce them.
Okay.
They die.
Yeah.
But now I've got a young'un.
Yes, you do,
So
Mr.
by
61.
George, I'm dying first.
Well, hopefully not soon, because you definitely are
I
one of a
passed every
kind.
one of my tests.
That's great.
Do you know that I have the 3 things that you need? I have someone to love at all times. I also have 4 daughters, 5 grandsons, 2 granddaughters, and 2 great-grandsons.
Beautiful.
Got it?
Yep. So that's
I
someone
have people
to love,
to love
okay.
that love me. I have something to do. I'm never going to retire.
No.
Why would I retire? I make money off talking. I would talk even if I didn't get paid.
That sounds, I resemble that comment. Go ahead.
And I have the 3rd thing.
What's the 3rd?
Someone to love, something to do, and something to look forward to. You do understand at 35, I was 205, blood pressure 250 over 148. I was alcoholic. I was absolutely on the way to my grave. I am passing. Every 5 years, our bodies are rebuilt. You do know that.
Yes.
We not only get rid of cancer, and by the way, I and my 4 daughters have what is called the NEHR2 gene, which is like the other side of the BRCA, and we are all prone to cancer.
Huh.
In my family, I and my 4 daughters have had 6 serious cancers, which we've lived through.
Great for you. That's great.
And do you know why?
Because of your attitude?
Because my daughters treat cancer like diabetes.
It's not that
You
big
see?
a deal. Yeah. Yeah.
And I studied with O. Carl Symington, Getting Well Again.
Great resources.
And I want you to understand, my last cancer was 6 years ago. 6 years ago. So technically, I made it through that one, but I have no problem with getting another one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
Because I have the right attitude.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And that's why you get Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award again.
Oh.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pat. We are out of time.
You're very welcome.
And just peace and blessings, lots of prosperity to you. I wore my
and
money
the
bag
same to you.
earrings just for you. Take care. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Peace and blessings. All right.
Blessings
that
to
was
you.
Dr. Pat Allen. Absolutely one of a kind. Oprah calls her the comic mother superior, and you can tell why. And it's that time at the end of the show. Very short, quick balance bar. And just letting you know, asking you to step up and balance yourself. I'm going to be at the LAX Hilton for the Conscious Life Expo in a couple of weekends, interviewing both Don Miguel Ruiz, best-selling author, 6 years on the best-selling list, The Four Agreements, as well as his son, Don Jose Ruiz. So if you'd like to join me in that, please stay tuned. We're taking a roving camera there, so ubnradiotv.com. 21-day fast from complaining. It's Balance Tip Day 9 today, and that is about first world complaining. If you have a roof over your head, food in your stomach, and a little money in your wallet, you are amongst the top 8% of people on the planet, so there's really nothing to complain about. And if you haven't gotten the app, please go to either Google Play Store or the Apple App Store for No Complaints, ! Or just Google my name, Dr. Marissa, and you will find that, and it will help you not complain for 21 days in a row. Please register at 4balance.org if you'd like to try to win a pack of my motivational cards, 52 card Pick Me Up, Stacking the Deck for Life Balance with Dr. Marissa. And then finally, if you would like to go to Sedona and learn Balance Tai Chi Gong, a moving meditation that promotes inner peace one breath at a time, you can save $300 with a fabulous Valentine's gift for yourself if it's Single Awareness Day, or for your partner if it's Valentine's Day, by registering at 4balance.org. And that's it next week. Well, today's the last day. If we don't get, I actually have had a lot of men ask me out as a result of advertising Are You Single, to do the On the Air, the Waiting Game, the Dating Game show with 3 bachelors with my blindfold on, listening to Dr. Pat Allen's Not Picking with My Eyes. But they're a little camera shy. So we're going to have a call-in show unless somehow today we have 3 bachelors who are willing to come on the air. But a nice call-in show, my weekly Balancing Your Life Tires, with respect to relationships, romance, and sex. So that'll be next week. So stay tuned here on Take My Advice. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa Pei. That's P for positive, EI. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.
touch keeps making me want you. So soft and yet so disturbing. The emotion it brings, my heart starts to sing a new melody. Your words are so few at times I do wonder if you feel half as much as I do. But when you look into my eyes, I see no disguise when you touch me. I need your touch, it makes me want to